Hey everybody, it's Josh Connor in the Songwriters Circle here at the Commodore Grill in Nashville for a very special Berklee College of Music Alumni Songwriters Night. And in the Songwriters Circle tonight is the one and only Joe Doyle. Hey Joe.
How you doing? Nice to see you.
What you been up to?
Been working on an EP with these talented young singers called the Mann Sisters, as a matter of fact. We've cut 3 of their sides so far, and we're hoping to go back in and finish up before we're doing a little Northeast tour at the end of May, early June.
What an incredible catalog. I mean, we could talk about it, so many songs. The one that stands out is In Pictures. So, great song, and it's actually had a bit of a revival.
Yeah, it was a really nice surprise. I was back home in New England, and I got a text message from his manager, who I didn't know was his manager, Arliss, saying, hey, you need to watch The Voice. And I said, oh, what's going on? I don't really watch the show. I know of the show. And he said, just trust me, you need to watch it. So I kept inquiring. Finally, I got a little bit of a lead on Monday when I was flying back to Nashville. They said, one of your songs is going to be performed, and it's been recorded, and they're going to release it to iTunes on the next morning. So I said, wonderful. And it turned out it was Craig Wayne Boyd who won the contest and did a wonderful version of it. I couldn't have been more pleased.
It is an incredible song. Give us a little background on the song itself.
I had a song plugger named Bobby Boyd when I was at BMG. This is 1992. I walked into his office one day, and he had a picture of his son up on the mantle in his office, and I said, boy, that kid's getting big. And he said, yeah, I'm watching him grow in pictures. And of course, my brain kind of went into songwriting mode, and I didn't say anything. Took a trip home, spent some time with my nieces and nephews, and on the plane back, I started to think to myself how sad that would be if that was actually my situation. I went back home, the song fell out. I wrote the chorus on the piano at the old house we lived in, and after I finished it, the chorus, I said, oh, that'd make a great verse. So it kind of showed how much I knew, but it turns out it was great. And I'd stop in to see Bobby once in a while and say, hey, I'm making progress on your hope you don't mind, I wrote this with your comment to me. And then Linda Davis recorded it, and Alabama heard it on Linda Davis's record, driving through the mountains of Georgia, decided to record it, and they thankfully took it to #1, and that was 1995. So it's been a real blessing, and I love hearing stories from people how they reached out to their father, or a father reached out to his child because of it, and it's just been a gift, a real gift.
Powerful stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real gift, and I'm thankful.
Well, tell me a little bit about how you're a Berklee College of Music alum.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how that impacted and has influenced your career here in Nashville.
I wouldn't be here without my time at Berklee. It was the first thing that happened to me was I went there trying to be Steve Gadd. I wanted to be a session drummer. Right. And I walked down the hall, saw Terry Lynn Carrington and Will Calhoun playing, and I just said, I've got to get a plan B. I couldn't keep up. You know, I was pretty good for my little town when I played, in bands and things, but you go there and you just see the level of musicianship. And luckily there was a burgeoning songwriting scene happening. And I started to co-write with a couple of buddies there and started to win a couple of contests. And it just gave me the courage and the impetus to move here. And I'm thankful that I did. I met so many wonderful people there and really grew as a musician. And I use so much of the theory that I learned there at school that I didn't understand it as a drummer when I was 18, 19 years old. But now, as 20, 30 years doing this, I use all those tools all the time. So it was without Berklee, I would not have had a career, I don't believe.
What are your words of song wisdom for those up and coming writers who are trying to get their way through through this whole thing?
Well, it's changed a little bit. It used to be really stay true to yourself and write from your heart. And the business has changed so much, as you know. I mean, it's such a political game now that you can write the best song, you can write Wind Beneath My Wings, and it might not get recorded if the right person doesn't have their name on it, or the right producer doesn't own some of the publishing on it. So it has changed what I tell people, but in my heart of hearts, I still tell people what I always told them. It's like, just don't follow the trends, because by the time you catch up to it, it's going to be gone. The only voice that's unique is your own. Nobody is you, so your experience is uniquely different from everybody else. And that's the one thing. I remember Harlan Howard, when I was a kid, would tell me, he said, write what you know about, kid. And we'd walk into Maud's courtyard, and he'd turn his head and he'd go, is school out? You know, some real words of wisdom that I think are still true today, but it is a lot more difficult journey right now, I think, because the business itself is so far down. The sales aren't what they used to be. But hopefully things will come around. But if you love music for the right reasons, you won't quit. You'll just keep doing it. You know, that's about all I can say. And just hone your craft. Get better all the time at everything. Become a better musician. If you're a songwriter, learn to play guitar. Learn to play piano. At any level of competency, it makes you a better writer. You know.
Joe Doyle in this special Berklee College of Music edition of the Songwriters Circle. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Remember, you can find out more about songwriting. You can see other interviews from Nashville's hit songwriters and so much more. It's all online for you right now. Josh Connor and the songwriterscircle.com. See you there.